The guitarist tightened a string and caught my eye. "You want us to hold 5 more minutes." "Hold 10, I said. "They're on their way." The server hovered, polite and worried. "Would you like more water?" "Ms. Rowe." "I'm fine." My voice sounded like it belonged to someone who believed that. I checked my phone. No texts from Mom, no dots from Addison, just the reservation confirmation with my name on every line. The room hummed with quiet and the clock pushed past 6. The server tried again. "If your party is delayed, we can—" "They will be here," I said, and the certainty tasted like copper. At 6:15, I called my sister, straight to voicemail. I called Mom, straight to voicemail. I called Dad. He picked up on the 3rd ring, laughter bleeding into the line like a radio too loud in a car with the window down. "Hey, Tamsin," he said, cheerful, distant. "Where are you?" A pause, then another laugh, this time not his. "Paris," he said. "We just wanted to keep you busy." The words landed like a chair scraping tile. The guitarist stopped tuning. The server looked away. "You left," I said. "We needed a real celebration," he said. "You're so good at this sort of thing." "Consider it practice." Someone in the background shouted for another bottle. He lowered his voice. "Don't make a scene. I will not," I said, and ended the call. The guitarist began coiling his cable. The drummer eased the sticks back into a bag. The server's smile flickered, brave and useless. "We can pack everything to go. Donate it," I said. He blinked. "All of it. All of it." He nodded and moved. I sat down at the head of the empty table and pressed my phone to my palm until the case warmed. The guitarist hesitated at the door. "You okay? I have work to do," I said. "What kind? The kind I am very good at." I stood, slid the chair in, and walked out to the parking lot. The evening air felt thin. By the time I reached my car, I had already named the folder in my head, Files 16. I set my phone on the desk and opened my laptop. "Export last 3 months," I said to myself, and the screen filled with lines of numbers that carried my name. A voicemail zipped in. Dad's voice. "Tight now, Tamsin. Call me back. Immediately." I clicked download. Vendor invoices restaurant. Band decor. Another voicemail Mom this time. "Honey, this is a misunderstanding. Do not do anything rash." I took screenshots of every transfer tuition labeled for Addison, utilities, deposits. I saved them to a fresh directory. Files 16. I whispered. Index 1 bank. Index 2 messages. Addison's text landed where I typed. At home. Then I didn't press send. A week passed like a quiet hallway. Then the phone went feral 36 calls in 1 hour. I watched it light the desk. Dad again. "Pick up." "You're being dramatic." "Mom, we need to manage this as a family." "Addison, everyone's asking why you ruined my party." I opened the call log, scrolled, and kept saving. A number I didn't know. I answered. "Tamsin speaking, credit union." "This is Ms. Heather Lane," a calm voice said. "You requested downloadable statements. I need itemized records, 3 months. Signed by a branch manager." I said, "That can be arranged. Do you want an appointment tomorrow? Afternoon?" Mom called again. I answered. Silence. Then a tremor. "We're back. Come over. We'll talk. You planned Paris," I said. "You told me to stay busy." "That's not fair," she said. "You're making a scene." "I am making a record. Tamsin, I will meet you when I am finished," I said, and hung up. Text bubbles blinked, frantic. I sent one message to the family thread, "I am very busy." The phone rang once more. I let it ring. Then I named the next folder, Index 3 Receipts. I called the restaurant first. "This is Tamsin Rowe. I need the signed contract." The manager's voice tightened. "I'm sorry about the other night. Send the PDF with the timestamp and payer name. Give me 10 minutes. Make it 5. Silence. Then 5. I dialed the band leader. "Invoice copy and deposit receipt." He cleared his throat. We felt awful packing up. Email. Subject line, Music Suite 16. Attach the signed quote. You got it. I opened my laptop. Index 1 bank, Index 2 messages, Index 3 receipts. Folders bloomed. My phone buzzed. Restaurant manager contract attached. Payer Tamsin Rowe. Deposit $200. Balance $300. Band leader invoice and deposit slip attached. I saved both and pulled up my transfers. Utilities, tuition, groceries, doctor copay. I read line by line, all mine. A text flashed from Tara. You doing this clean line numbers, dates, attachments? I typed. No adjectives. Good. Don't argue. Prove. I know. I opened a dusty email account I used to set up school forms for Addison. The recovery code pinged my phone. I typed it in. Folders stacked like years. Subject passport renewal appointment confirmed date 6 months ago. From Mom to Addison. I clicked. Bring original birth certificate. Fee due at appointment. I traced forward. Subject itinerary Paris. Date 6 weeks ago. I opened the e-tickets. Passenger names. Mom, Dad, Addison. Departure 2 days before the party. Tara again. Premeditated? Yes. I wrote. Index 4, travel. My printer spat pages. I flattened each with the side of my hand. Receipt, statement, itinerary. A memory blinked on the old family iPad I'd set up for streaming bills, still tied to the house Wi-Fi. I drove over. The porch light was off. I let myself in with the key I had been told never to lose. On the kitchen counter, the iPad slept under a film of dust. I pressed the button. The blue chat bubbles swam into view. Same Apple ID. Same threads. I scrolled the parents' chat. Mom flights booked. Don't tell T. Dad keep her busy till we leave. Mom album. She's making one. Dad, perfect. I took photos of the screen, then exported the chat as a file to my email. The back door creaked. Addison stood there with a grocery bag and surprise hardening into scorn. You can't go through our stuff. This is my login, I said. You're making everything worse. I am making it clear. She dumped the bag on the counter. Dad said you're spiraling. I am labeling. I pointed to the tablet. Index 5 planning messages. Her chin lifted. You always overreact? Passport renewal, I said, tapping the printout. Itinerary. Your name on both. Booked 6 weeks ago. She looked at the page and then away. You weren't invited. I was assigned. I picked up the iPad and set it back where I found it. I am done with assignments. She folded her arms. Mom says you'll apologize. I will deliver documents. I left the house with my stack of paper and the taste of metal in my mouth. In the car, I called the credit union. This is Tamsin Rowe. Please add scanned statements to my appointment. I will bring messages and invoices. Understood, Ms. Lane said. Do you want a manager present? Yes. And bring a pen. For signatures for conclusions, I said, and ended the call. They came without calling. Mom swept in first, Addison behind her, Dad closing the door like a seal. Mom did not sit. You embarrassed us, she said. You owe the family an apology and reimbursement for what I asked. Our savings. Dad said, you drained it for that ridiculous party. I opened my laptop and turned to the screen. This is my personal account. Nickname, family. So I could track your bills. Owner, Tamsin Rowe. Mom smiled without teeth. Cute. Rename it whatever you like. Money is money. Deposits are mine, I said. Transfers are mine. Tuition, utilities, groceries. Doctor fees all mine. Addison rolled her eyes. You love keeping score. I love keeping records. Dad stepped closer. You will wire us $2,000 by Friday. Then you will post a statement saying you overreacted. No, I said. Mom's voice dipped, cool and public. We are pillars in this community. People talk, then show them the numbers. I said, tomorrow afternoon at the credit union, 2 o'clock. Ms. Heather Lane and a branch manager will verify every line. That is not necessary, Mom said. This is family. This is accounting. I said. Addison folded her arms. You ruined my birthday. You were in Paris 6 weeks after your passport renewal. I said. I have the itinerary. She looked at Dad. He lifted a hand. We will not be blackmailed by your little folders. These little folders are labeled, I said. Index 1 through 5. Mom tried a softer angle. Honey, let us handle this privately. One transfer, one apology, and we move on. I am not moving on. I said, I am moving accurately. Dad's jaw worked. You always wanted control. This is your way of punishing us. This is my way of stopping. He took out his phone. Fine. We filed a report. Officers will come by. Good, I said. Bring them to the credit union tomorrow if they need context. Addison laughed once. You think this makes you look strong? It makes you look small. I closed the laptop. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Mom's look hardened. If you love this family, you will make this right tonight. I will make it true tomorrow, I said. Dad opened the door. Get ready to be embarrassed. I already am, I said. They left. The hallway swallowed their voices. I stacked the folders on the table and slid a pen on top, inked and ready. They knocked at noon. 2 officers, a woman in front, a man behind her. Ms. Rowe, the woman asked. Yes. I'm Sergeant Morales. This is Officer Kent. Your parents filed a complaint. For theft, for concern, she said carefully. Mind if we talk in the living room, I said, and set the folders on the coffee table. Kent glanced at the stack. You expecting us? I was expecting claims, I said. Index 1 through 5. Morales opened the first folder, bank statements. 3 months, itemized, with my name. Restaurant and band invoices, message logs, travel itineraries. Kent looked at a highlighted line. Tuition transfer. From my account, I said. Morales kept her voice even. Do you authorize us to view these I do? She read quietly, page by page. Ms. Rowe, this appears to be a family dispute over money you spent? Correct. That is civil. Not criminal, she said. We can take a report, but this is not theft. Please note that. Kent nudged the travel printout. Paris tickets purchased 6 weeks prior. Also correct. I said. Morales slid a card across the table. We can refer you to mediation. If they escalate, call. Today, our role is documentation. Thank you. The door opened without a knock. Mom swept in with Dad and Addison. Dad halted when he saw the uniforms. Officers, we appreciate your help. Morales did not stand. Sir, this is a civil matter. Mom's smile tightened. We were misled. Kent closed the folder. We saw receipts showing Ms. Rowe paid. Addison's voice went brittle. So she gets to humiliate us. Morales rose. No one is being humiliated. We are leaving. Your next step is mediation or counsel. Dad pointed at me. We will pursue this. 2 o'clock at the credit union. I said. Verification is welcome. Morales nodded once to me. Keep your copies. Document everything. I do, I said. They filed out. Uniforms first. Family after. The room kept the quiet they could not. Ms. Lane met me at the lobby and led us to a glassed room. My parents came in a minute later, Addison trailing, arms folded. This is branch manager Daniel Carter. Ms. Lane said. You authorized read-only review. I did. I said. Indexes 1 through 5. Dad leaned on the chair back. We will be brief. Mr. Carter opened a folder. Account holder Tamsin Rowe. Personal checking and savings. A nickname labeled Family appears on the checking profile. That is cosmetic. Ownership remains singular. Mom exhaled like a cue. Cosmetic or not, the money is ours. No, ma'am, Mr. Carter said. Deposits originate from Ms. Rowe's employer. Transfers exit to vendors, utilities, tuition. I see no incoming funds from either of you. Read the dates, I said. He traced with a pen. Restaurant deposit, $200. Final payment, $300. Band leader, $150. Decorations, $200. Tuition to district portal, multiple payments, each labeled by Ms. Rowe, all within the last 3 months. Dad tried a laugh. She is very good at labels. Ms. Lane tapped the screen. We also verified merchant descriptors with issuing banks. These are legitimate payments. Mom's smile thinned. And the alleged theft, Mr. Carter turned a page. I see no withdrawals from any account belonging to you. I see no transfers into Ms. Rowe's accounts from any account bearing your names. There is no basis for a theft claim. Addison stared at the statement. You paid my fees. Yes, I said. Why? Because you needed it, I said. Dad's voice cooled. We are not here for sentiment. We are here for an apology and 2,000 by Friday. Mr. Carter lifted his head. Sir, our role is to confirm transactions. We can issue a letter of findings. Please do. I said. Ms. Lane began typing. Letter will state sole ownership. Payments made by Ms. Rowe to listed vendors. No evidence of unauthorized transfers. We can print and email. Mom leaned toward me. You will not circulate that. I will keep a copy. I said. Dad pointed at the nickname on the account. That title is misleading. Mr. Carter shook his head. Nicknames help customers organize. They do not create joint rights. Addison's voice dropped. You could have told me. I did. I said. You were busy. Ms. Lane slid the printout across the table. Mr. Carter signed and dated it. Here is the letter of findings. Dad did not touch it. This is a family matter. It became a bank matter when you said theft. I said. Mom gathered her purse. You will still issue a statement clearing us. I will not issue any statement about you. I said. I will state my boundary. Mr. Carter folded his hands. Is there anything further? Yes, I said. Please notarize a copy. Ms. Lane nodded. Right away. Dad finally took the letter, as if it burned. You are making enemies. I am making records. I said. Addison looked at the signature, then at me. What happens now? I am finished paying. I said. Ms. Lane returned with the seal. The stamp pressed down, and the room clicked into place. Boxes lined the wall like low, patient animals. I set the notarized letter on the counter and left the door unlocked. They came fast. Dad first, Mom behind him, Addison hugging her arms. Mom didn't bother with hello. You will retract whatever you told the bank. I told the bank what I paid, I said. Dad pointed at the boxes. You are not moving. I am. You will wire 2,000 by Friday, he said. You will apologize to the family chat? No. Addison's voice tried for casual and landed on brittle. People are talking. You look obsessed. I look finished. I said. Mom softened her tone. Honey, we can end this tonight. One transfer, one post. We forgive and forget. I am not asking for forgiveness, I said. I am stopping a job I was never hired to do. Dad stepped closer. You owe us. We raised you. I paid you. I said. For years. Mom glanced at the letter. That piece of paper will not save you from consequences. It is not meant to save me. I said. It is meant to be clear. Addison held up her phone. Say you overreacted. I will type it for you. No. Dad's voice went quiet, the way it did before he cut. Either you fix this now or you are out. You will not come home for holidays. You will not use our name. I picked up the letter and slid it back into its sleeve. I am done funding your life. Mom stared at me like I had mispronounced my own name. Do not ruin this family over pride. I am not ruining anything. I said. I am ending my part. Dad spread his hands. Last chance. I walked to the door and opened it. The hallway waited, plain and bright. I am done funding your life. I said again. Addison's mouth trembled, then hardened. You will regret this. I will keep records, I said. Mom reached for me and stopped. Dad's eyes flattened. Goodbye, I said. No one moved. I stepped aside. The door stayed open. I wrote the subject line twice before leaving it plain about the party. Dear all. I typed, timeline attached, receipts and bank letters included. I listed dates, amounts, vendors, the Paris itinerary, and the line where Dad said keep her busy. I attached the photo of empty tables. I BCC'd the cousins and aunts. I did not use an adjective. Tara pinged. You press send sent. I said. My phone lit up. Aunt Ellen first. Tamsin. I saw. Do you need a place to land? I am arranged. I said. Thank you. A cousin called. I declined and texted. Documentation is attached. He wrote back. I had no idea. I did. I wrote. Now you do. I opened Addison's group thread. For clarity, I wrote and dropped the single photo of the band packing. Then I put my phone down. It buzzed anyway. Addison. How dare you? Facts only. I typed. You hate me. She wrote. I paid for you. I said. For years. Mom's name filled the screen. I answered. Silence. Then a whisper sharpened on the edge. You will retract that email. It contains receipts. I said. You humiliated us. I documented us. Dad took the phone. This will not stand. It already does, I said, on letterhead. Aunt Ellen again. Voice steady. You come here when you are ready. I will, I said. Addison wrote, Everyone is asking me things. I typed, You can answer or you can be quiet. I am choosing quiet. Mom sent one more text. Family solves family. I replied, Then family should start with truth. I closed the threads and dragged a folder to the desktop. New name exit final. I called my landlord first. Early termination, I said. What is the fee? 1 month's rent, he said. Due on move out. I will pay it. I said. Keys by the 30th. Done. I listed the couch for $100, the table for $50. A stranger messaged within minutes. Is the couch firm? Take it for $80. I said. He arrived with a friend, lifted one end and grunted. You moving far enough, I said, and held the door while they scraped past. I emailed HR next. 2 weeks' notice. I wrote. My boss called before I could stand. This is abrupt, he said. I am leaving on the 29th. I said. You have clients. I have trained replacements. Exit interview tomorrow at 10, he said. 10 works. Tara texted. Flight one way to Portland. I wrote. 300 even. Book it. Tamsin. I booked it. The confirmation pinged like a gavel. Aunt Ellen called. Room is ready, she said. City bus stops at the corner. I will meet you at baggage claim. I can take the light rail and transfer. I said. You can, but I am meeting you, she said. I smiled into the empty room. All right. Mom tried again. You cannot abandon your family. I am leaving, not abandoning, I said. Dad got on the line. You will send us $2,000 by Friday. I will pay my fee and my ticket, I said. Nothing more. Addison texted separately. Say you are sorry and I will talk to people. I am not sorry for paying bills. I wrote, I am sorry for continuing too long. At the exit interview, my boss clasped his hands. What will you do in Portland study? Work part-time. Take photographs, I said. Growing up means compromise, he said. It also means choosing, I said. Back home. I opened the closet and filled a single suitcase. Jeans, 2 sweaters, camera case. I set the handmade album on the counter, slid a letter inside, and sealed it. Tara called once more. Scared decided. I said, outside. Someone carried the table to a truck bed and pressed $50 into my palm. The bill felt thin with use. I folded it, put it away, and kept packing. Aunt Ellen waved from baggage claim. You look lighter, she said. I left weight behind. I said, on the train. Rain stitched the window. She handed me a key. Your room, she said. Your life. My life, I repeated. We stopped near her street. First thing you want, she asked. A picture, I said, and lifted my old Canon. She smiled, then make one. Downtown, a bus hissed and a cyclist laughed at the light. I raised the camera. Aunt Ellen touched my sleeve. No need to rush. I am not rushing, I said. I am choosing. The shutter clicked. A boy in a red coat turned and grinned into the drizzle. I checked the frame. That is mine. Aunt Ellen peered at the screen. You kept the good part. I kept the true part. I said. My phone buzzed once. I silenced it. Aunt Ellen nodded toward the street. Another shot. One more, I said, and lifted the camera again.